afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Name, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland, off in an exciting, amazing, riveting 1 vs 1 on Holotny film. Between the West, we got Ihitto, finally here for the Oberkommandist, Germany, Deutschland, rolling out here for the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzer to be shown here, a rank 19 player from South Korea with the Oberkommandist. This person is Coconut Milk. Fighting for the Soviet Union, Socialism, Comrade Stalin, and the 10th Mechanized Corps here, ranked 30 with the Soviets, and from Hong Kong, if I read things correctly. So we here got Breakthrough, Fortifications, and Scavenge with Triple Infantry versus Counterattack, Guard Rifle, and Guard Motor with Triple Infantry as well. Also, big thanks to Ed for donating and supporting the Propagandacast alignment here to keep making these videos, plus other stuff. So if you'd like to see me keep doing this, do consider donating as well. Links in the video description. But back to the fight here. An amazing fight, so strap yourselves in with a nice cold beverage. Or warm one, depending on climate. We got Steel Pioneers forces here for Ihitto, heading northwards. They're also trying to secure... It's not quite securing this compartment quite as normally faster. See, we also got a Kuban here, allowing to use territory faster. One thing to note now, it's actually because I was losing last by play, but they do have a higher capping rate than other units. But like most have, like a capping rate of 1. The Kugelwagen has a capping rate, I think, of 1.25, so basically 25% faster seizes a point, which can be quite useful for helping units grab territory. In the south here, Coconut Milk advances with a lot of country on the way there for the motherland, for the Soviet Union. Moving out there with their mercenary guns clenched tightly in their hands, ready to shoot any Hitler-like bastard they see. Country more arriving here for Coconut Milk. Folks heading southwards here. And while I know sort of Ihitto, at least I've seen plenty of match from him, he's certainly a very competent player, though he does occasionally, I think, try to sort of aim for slightly unconventional strategy in some ways. Coconut Milk, I have to say, is not really a known entity, so I can't really sort of say much about his play style, to be honest. So just a little heads up there. Forces they're being pushed back by the conscripts here, not trying to engage here, not going to try and fight around, the wheelbarrow of destiny. Trying to flank around here, I think that's a real good decision. They're trying to basically outmaneuver, in this case, at a threatening point there, so like he maybe have a chance of wiping out retreating units if the fight basically goes wrong here for Coconut Milk. Still passing up further here, so again, instead of trying to engage head on and just try to clear it out that way, Oro looks to just sneak behind and sort of look for the weakest link here. In this case, the conscript here. Oro, see, that's some pretty solid play there by here to very good tactical sense here. Coconut Milk find themselves throwing out alongside a series of strong points, but all of a sudden they're being sort of slowly outmaneuvered here, slowly wedged further and further back here, exposing further and further elements. Really good play here by Ihitto. Of course, we see Coconut Milk trying to shore up his lines. There you go, one squad retreated here. In this case, the Steel Parts can't take advantage of it. Nonetheless, it results in the squad on the side of the house. They're being isolated, and we got two conscripts on the run here. Really good play there by Ihitto. Minimum amount of casualties, actually, while again causing maximum damage there to Coconut Milk. So this is some real expert play there by Ihitto. And for that matter, of course, Coconut Milk. But again, you can see Ihitto just was able to keep a bit moving fast as Coconut Milk got too static. Troops are fighting around against surrounding in. We can see they're down to half health. The retreat path is starting to look a bit tenebrous even. Still Pioneers almost taking out Ninja Squad. We could see up in the first game. Moment of the game, and there we go. Ihitto turns the tables on Coconut Milk. That's a good strong move there. Nice little chain, but again, he found the weakest link and he cut the chain. Though now we might see he might have the tables turned on him in return. We can see that Ihitto begins to slowly move back units, but there you go. Coconut Milk linking for too long, and now there's a good chance of actually losing a conscript score on top of everything. They're low on health, they're down on numbers, they're running desperately for their lives. But they do get away there, saving Coconut Milk further casualties, or at least further units he has to entirely replenish. So that was some rather brutal stuff there. Quick engagement here as well, conscript pushing forward, Kuban then being crushing fences. Might more or less been intentional. I don't think that's particularly something he's aiming to do specifically. And sending a grenade there, turning the church into a bit of a sauna or a barbecue house, depending on how you view it in perspectives. We got sandbags down here, Coconut Milk kicking up. That's some good work there with these sandbags. Chuck out here for Ihitto. Well, that's going to be Battle Group Headquarters and Mechanized Regiment. There has been a slow increase in Mechanized Regiment from Oberkommando players, possibly due to change in meta, but it also purchases back again due to the signal nerf or buff of the looks and the buff to the Mechanized Regiment as well. So there's a slight increase there in those sort of plans. We'll have to see if Ihitto goes for that, but he's got enough infantry, could consider Battle Group Headquarters, so it's going to be interesting. No, it does go for the Mechanized Regiment. He does go for the Mechanized Regiment here. So again, a slow increase there from Oberkommando's players. I also think in part because so many players are increasingly expecting the flak half-track, but the looks does simply have the element of surprise. Again, people are sort of used now to deal with a flak half. The looks is actually an unknown element, and being able to throw in an unknown element against your opponent is actually in many cases really powerful, because if they're expecting A and you hit them with a B, they can actually find themselves a bit flustered. So, interesting choice there by Ihitto. Interesting choice. We'll have to see how Coconut Milk reacts to that. He's taking out himself, going for supporting company here. He's probably starting to send something in again. High rank players, he might also be, of course, sending the coming tide or change in the tides, and might already be expecting a Luxia himself and going for field guns. So again, he's also got guards doctrine, so he's got a lot of ways to react to the looks here. Grabbing points to the north here, so he's fighting in the south. The Isway northwards, he's trying to force Ihitto maybe to split up himself, at which point again they're overwhelming. That overall seems to be so, you know, both players sort of overall attempt here. They're trying to sort of cause the other player to either extend or sort of do something soon, in which case sort of strike down on them like a ton of bricks. Either German or Russian bricks. Gang pawns up here. Flamethrowers up there for Coconut Milk. Helpful there for dealing with units in cover, of course, and structures. So, and of course, it's just a damage boost for the engineers. Like, they just overall become better with a flamethrower on them. So, I mean, it's just, you know, in many cases, a straightforward upgrade. And since you usually get more than one engineer squad as a Sods, eventually, you can usually get, you know, Minesweepers up on the second one. But there you go, incendiary grenade here, flamethrowers will stew parts caught in a really bad position as everything turns into an inferno in a matter of seconds. Mein Gott, Otto, everything turned into an inferno in seconds. Ja, wie hört's in narrator? Shut up and run. Up north here, Volks versus the counter there. Volks moving in as well. We've got Lux on the way for Ihitto. The Lux Aufklärungspanzer, based on the Panzer II chassis. There's actually a mix of several other projects. As a fun fact, there we go, incendiary off. Molotovs off, so everything again turns into an inferno. Everything's on fire. Horrifically. So we can see that now Ihitto's actually into this ground here as Coconut Milk's really beginning exciting infantry. He's actually going for the maximum, probably in counter to Ihitto's infantry, but it does leave him vulnerable to the Lux Aufklärungspanzer. And there goes Samax on the field point, though note, despite being technically on the point, sometimes it doesn't quite trigger. In this case, it's not, so he's actually not grabbing the point. In this case, just not even have a chance of running at neutral. So there you go, nice flank behind here with the depleted infantry squad. So Ihitto just pushes ahead for the fatherland. Maxim being carted forwards there by Coconut Milk's Maximum Cruise, a machine gun from Tsarist times. It was chosen because, well, and with wheels in the sort of Sokolov mount, I think it's called there, because most of the Tsarist army back then was basically foot drawn, in which case they needed a machine gun that could easily be carried around by infantry, in which case they went for this sort of particular design of the Maxim, which rather carried on to the Soviet army. Troops are setting out, and we got the looks out here for Ihitto. Over, I think, 100 were actually made. I think 200 were made along with a Czechoslovakian sort of Panzer 380 sort of version of it with a slightly different turret. Fun fact. Maxim pulling ahead here, Constable supporting, but he is going to be a bit caught a bit unawares, I think, by the looks. So, while I had suspected he might be preparing for it, maybe it wasn't actually the case here, and the looks quickly does a lot of damage to the Maxim. His first engagement utterly ruined by a light tank with a 2cm autocannon and a actual machine gun. Comes there getting blasted heavily, slaughtered. Engineers might flank in from the, well, they're obviously not going to flank in against the looks. Troops are taking heavy damage, push back. You might wonder, why didn't they ever upgrade any of the reconnaissance vehicles for, you know, bigger guns? Well, they did in the case of the Pumas, we all know, but the problem was they were worried they'd actually, you know, make the reconnaissance crew too bold, you know, might consider other things than just doing reconnaissance. So as a rule of thumb, the German army just stuck to 2cm autocannons for all the reconnaissance vehicles because, you know, they could defend themselves, they could sort of do some light skirmishing, but, you know, not trying to, you know, be, you know, Michael Wittmann or anything. Field gun out here for Coconut Milk in response to the Lux Aufklärungspanzer. There you go, country caught in a really bad spot. They're taking heavy damage. CoH2 is piling up, and you can see in this case the power of the unexpected to an extent really appears here, and Coconut Milk finds himself a bit flummoxed in the face of the Panzer II Model L. Actually, numerous versions of the Panzer, they tried to do different things with it, including one version with actually 80mm of armor, the same level of armor as a Panzer IV, and another one had a 50mm gun in an open top turret. Comes there taking him damage. Looks like he's trying to get into the church, but there's some issues there. In the south, troops pushing forwards there, going for the southern field. We've got Max ringing in, field coming up as well. Veterans 1. 11 kills already on the looks here, so I mean, it does highlight despite being nerfed. Like, it's not because, as I said, it got bad, it's just the timing got a bit thrown off, and the flag half track just got so much better. But as the tides are slowly turning in certain ways, there'll probably more looks as rules. That might be something worth, you know, keeping an eye out for. Pushing through in the south, trying to flank about. In this case, though, Coconut Milk is just fast enough. It actually turns out he wasn't fast enough. But we got a big counter-attack here from Coconut Milk, constantly with flamethrowers. Sis3 trying to catch the looks of Clem's Panzer at close range, and there we go, there we go. Ah! Too fast. It's the lighter Panzer as it outmaneuvers the Sis3. But Ihitto's forces are repulsed with heavy and bloody losses. Field goes out again as the crew gets pelted with autocannon fire. There you go, penetrating hit here through the side armor, and to tank grenade goes off as well, taking down to less than half health, and might just give this a third chance taking out. There'll be quite a loss there for Ihitto if it goes down, but no, it seems to be bailing out of the engagement just barely here. I can't enough up as Ihitto's actually worried about his opponent getting out like tanks, but so far that is not happening. Back here, troops in, reinforcing there for Coconut Milk. Here, points being seized. We've got the full squad moving up there for Ihitto. It's actually flooding an awful lot of manpower. That seems a bit worrying. Normally you'd expect me to try and expend it, shall we say, more efficiently, more Sturmpioneers or anything like that. Or even need some machine guns. Of course, there's the issue. He might just not want to, you know, get too many troops and find himself, you know, too high pop cap and other things. But even then, this seems a bit peculiar. And there we go. More full Grenadier for Ihitto. And more infantry from the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision. He's bring down there. Sturmpioneers reinforcing, could lay down some medic kits, looks rolling back very slowly. He's even taking the further step of using cautious movement just to ensure his opponent doesn't slip in through here. Let's sort of catch it off guard until he's like reasonably close enough. So Ihitto displaying, I think, a great degree of caution and just, you know, foresight, just in case. Like, he is not a type to take any chances there against his opponent, which I think is a pretty sensible decision, and certainly I think displays some high level skill there. Now the maximum on the way there for Coconut Milk to fail, just constraining container Ihitto's infantry. And actually, I think cancelled the Volkswagen in this squad. Instead went for a truck and an MG34 to help control the field. Good choice there. MG 34, got the maximum pulling up here, engaging the fascists behind the wreckage of a Panzer IV from a previous battle. The question, of course, is going to go for the Belgroup headquarters or the Schwer Panzer headquarters. You'd imagine he's going to go for the Schwer Panzer headquarters, pull ahead for some medium armor as soon as possible. There are some players who prefer mechanized regiment, at least used to mechanized regiment, into Belgroup headquarters, then into Schwer Panzer headquarters. It is in some ways a more risky strategy. Then again, it does mean, like, if your opponent pushes ahead for medium armor fast, you can be caught with your leaderhorse and down your angles pretty aggressively, and that can leave you in a bad spot because you then expend a lot of resources just going for that piece of tech, meaning any armoured response is going to be quite delayed. So if he's planning that, it could be a bit dangerous there for Ihitto. Coconut Milk launching assault to the MG34, launching bullets against the conscript field, coming up, looks there, hammering away, close, getting back to 2 already. This is 3 moving up, and he does go for the Belgroup headquarters there. Not what I recommend. Also note the way sort of Coconut sets up for the assault here, launching attack from several points before, popping Molotovs here against Ihitto's positions here, flashing them out. Very good assault here by Coconut Milk. Ihitto simply just didn't have the forces to repulse it. Could I think fallen back. So he actually risks losing the MG34 if he's not fast enough. Maxim creeping up from several angles, using mines. Coconut Milk is really determined to control the centre of the map. He could try and take the north, but I think what he's trying to do is set up this zone of exclusion here, where again this is, you know, more threat in the north and also make it harder for Ihitto to use the looks. Whereas he did push northwards there, he would have to also consider moving the field gun out there as well, in which case he might be more vulnerable to the looks elsewhere. So by trying to push for it, it does cost more now, but theoretically, if he gains the centre, he can then sort of create, you know, a zone of defence. It's going to be harder to crack with the looks. But there you go, eventually 2 gained. Oh, it's going to hit the mine. Oh, it stops right before. No, it does hit the mine. Main gun destroyed. Engine out. He could probably take it out here with an attack round through the hedgerows. Might catch him in the infantry squad, but so far there's no sign of that. And he gets it. He gets it. Ihitto's looks is kaputt. Like the Panzer zerstört. Scheiße. Just pulling back there for reinforcement healing. Counter-attack going on here. Fulcher's fighting up with assault rifles, blasting away at the Russian infantry as Maxims spew out hot death. And there go Molotovs again. 9 cover and overall forcing Ihitto to fall back here. Already stinging from the blow that the Lux's loss is. He's still flowing more man, but there you go. Light infantry on the way there. Ihitto apparently planning for artillery all along, which is not a bad idea. Will certainly help him versus the Maxims, providing with smoke as well. Back here, tech for Coconut Milk. The wait's so delayed. I definitely think he's playing for tanks. He's going to probably go for the Mechanized Armor Company next and roll out a T-34 as soon as possible. Ihitto following up here with tech for the Speer Panzered Quarters. Map control wise, it is so far Ihitto in the lead here versus Coconut Milk with 276 versus the 495 of Ihitto of Deutschland. Maximum side of the church here being threatened by full-screen release. We've got Constant moving up. Another player that's yet to commit to Doctrine within the opening almost 20 minutes of the game here, which has been interesting. MG34 once more finding itself a bit on fire. In the sense that it's actually literally on fire. You know, he's not very quick to retreat, and that's certainly a sign of, shall we say, very cold blood there. You can actually usually in some cases have a machine gun hang around for a bit there if it's on fire, depending on the situation, because it doesn't necessarily then take a lot of damage. So again, that's a bit of a high risk assessment. And again, it can backfire on you, but in the right circumstances, it can devastate your opponent's assault. If they anticipate, you just immediately retreat your machine gun, and then you don't. But again, it is risky, and it's not something I recommend unless you're sort of really confident in your own skills and good at the game as well. Speer Panzered Quarters pretty close to the front line there, in particular here. Right now, it's incredibly riskily done by Ihitto. I mean, if this gets spotted and then knocked out by, say, the field gun, that could very well be in the field we call GG. Because there's going to be such a massive loss in resources for Ihitto when his opponent might be pushing medium tanks he can't recover. Letting both players active focus on resources. Oh no, looks like he's spot, but there you go. It does get finished, even then he has to repair it. Tank. Oh, it's not reinforcing the yes. It's just poor Pushkin who's left to do the work. Always Pushkin, always Pushkin. There we go. He's slowly reinforcing very slowly. Like, he has the manpower, just seemingly can't be asked to do it. He just hates that engineer so much. So much. Threatening the northern fuel point and getting to sandbags. This time slightly further in so you can actually grab the point while he's building sandbags. Right now, the map is swinging back in favour of Coconut Milk. It's now Pushkin and Sergei now left to do the work. Sergei clearly has also ticked off Coconut Milk. So, what did you do? I accidentally put milk in my tea. Oh, he hates that. Yes. And now again, they have to build the mechanized company. I know, this feels a bit silly. I'm not entirely sure if he's doing this on purpose or he's just not paying attention. I mean, there's so much else going on. I could see it just happening by accident, but even then, it feels a bit silly. Ihitto going for Obersoldaten and some hardened German infantry. Veterans of the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision, which was Hermann Göring's personal panzer division, which actually later we expanded into a full panzer corps. Folks are moving in, engaging. There we go. Molotov off, thrown at the corner. And we can see that Ihitto's very quick to fall out, but he's very much contained now. He's barely got anything except the centre of the map. Mechanized Armor Company is halfway done. He's still not finishing reinforcing them. It's so silly. Silly Coconut Milk. Light machines up. They've got Fulcher taking around to this to flank up behind the conscripts. Very good move there by Ihitto. And there you go. Full retreat there. Coconut Milk just retreats, realising he's just going to waste manpower by that engagement. Always the good sign there of good play. Again, just assessing the situation, realising I'm not going to gain anything further from this. I'm just going to retreat. But there you go. Finally done. Still not fully reinforced, but he can now begin pushing for T-35s right away. And Ihitto again, due to the path he took there, is going to be delayed in pushing out any armour. How do you say not going for the battle group headquarters and medics? He might have been in with the realm, actually going for a Panzer IV by now. Also to defend his fuel bond better. But instead, he's not quite there. And there you go. Coconut Milk going for the T-35. As Ihitto sweeps slightly towards the north, but he's still maintaining most of his posture towards the centre. He's really intent on defending here. And that could prove to be a bit detrimental, at least short term, as Coconut Milk's just been able to push several medium tanks against him, and Ihitto's just so far behind on resources because he didn't secure the fuel point on top of, the extended tech chain there that he again, he's going to be in for a rough ride here because he's only got a single Kedner for now to stop this. He doesn't even have Panzerschrecks. Though the mines will help, they will slow down the tanks, making easy targets for the Kedners. That is good. As long as, Coconut Milk, doesn't volunteer as infantry as minesweepers. Well, what? You have all volunteered to be minesweepers, but where's the minesweeper kits? Because of your generosity, you said you did not need to burden the Soviet logistical system with such petty concerns. Asshole. I heard that. I meant... never mind. I'm dead either way. Securing the southern part of their mine goes off, killing a few Volksgrenadiers. And there you go, got the first T-55 rolling off the train here to hit at Ihitto. And again, he's got only a single academy to stop this armoured beast of Stalin. Noting he's actually mined the spot the Ihitto that Coconut Milk mine. Clever. Certainly a bit of a blind spot thing. Plus, also just a good mine spot there. Got a Kev getting a good hit enough in the T-45. Trying to get the light infantry gun. Further hits inflicted here, need to probably fall back. And there you go, T-55 down to less than half health, hitting the northern fuel point here. Conscripts moving in there for Mother Russia. Depleted Oberstleutnant squad, you maintains a vigil here. They probably should retreat that for reinforcements, or at least consider reinforcing with another Oberstleutnant squad. And there you go, just retreating. Conscripts pulling up, engineers falling back. Did he actually ever reinforce those? Skirmishing here. And another T-55 already here for Coconut Milk, whereas Ihitto is still not within range of any armor. At this rate, he's probably have to consider Jagdpanzer or Panther, because against numerous T-55, sending out a Panzer IV there would just be a waste of resources. Like a single Panzer IV in this situation would be vastly undergunned and also vastly under-armored. Well, not under-armored, but he doesn't have a chance. He might actually benefit more from going for a Panther or theoretically a Jagdpanzer in this situation, since both of those have better penetration, better range, and... well, not in the case of the Jagdpanzer better armor, but the Panther's got better armor and better health. Which all means that the engagement as the T-55 is more likely to benefit the Panther than, say, a Panzer IV. Push up for the centre. Victory points wise. He is slowly bleeding out of Ihitto, but not at a, I think, sufficiently fast rate at the moment to sort of really benefit Coconut Milk. Put any sort of undue pressure on Ihitto. So with this, Ihitto could theoretically get away with just stalling there for the T-Panther there, but that's what he's planning, though he still needs to defend the field better and actually hold it. Pulling up here, got the Oberstleutnant moving forwards. Trying to win again, he's trying to threaten the retreat path here of the conscript on side. He's aiming for wipes. Always a good idea. T-55 being fixed up here. Second one, quickly setting up for an assault for the centre. A lot of engagement, a lot of skirmishing, lots of death. As we can see here, Ihitto bring up more Kednefers. Besides having brought up a lot of light infantry guns, actually notice having two now. And there we go. Coconut Milk, too slow, they didn't pay attention, got a wipe. He could consider replacing with gas, but he could also consider going for a heavy mortar. Like, both are pretty solid options there right now versus Ihitto. There we go. Oberstleutnant blasted into hell with an 85mm with a high explosive shell. And the rest sort of just try to fall back here to avoid the same fate. And then quickly exit out the other door. Sharp move there by Ihitto. Second T-55 from the centre. There you go, catch the MG-55 out in the open. Almost got it there, though he still has a good chance of wiping it out. Also note that the game had a better sort of simulation of armour. This could actually be a good manoeuvre, because it was actually a manoeuvre at least German Tiger tank crews did. They slightly sort of angle their tanks so they could sort of simulate to an extent, or at least emulate having sloped armour, because it sort of just slightly angled it. You could sort of get the effect of having sloped armour, and that was definitely something Tiger tank crews did. I'd not be surprised if other German tank crews did, and ultimately if they did it, I'd not be surprised, maybe Soviet tankers tried to pull that one off as well. Even with sloped armour, getting the most effect never hurts. There you go, heavy mortar out for Coconut Milk. Both T-54's a bit dinged up, but still in good condition. Can easily be fixed up, even using munitions. He's got a ton of it, by the way, even having laid down a bunch of mines. So he could easily just afford, popping self-repairs on both of the T-55s. Quick Molotov. MG-34 wiped. Victory points wise. He's slowly bleeding out to Ihitto. We're just getting closer, Panther. The Panzerkampfwagen 5. Pride of the Vaterland. No self-repair still here for Coconut Milk, despite the ample munitions. Ihitto getting ever closer to the Panther here. Ever closer. Ever so slowly. for the motherland. Council setting out there. Noting by the way, Ihitto's gone for defensive, that is for fortifications doctrine, opening up from his flak emplacements, S-mines, machine gun bunkers, packed for the fierce howitzers and zeroing artillery. An interesting choice here, not necessarily a bad one. We got the T5 rolling through it, bypassing both the Kedmers, the risk getting Panzerwerft there. A Panzerfaust, not Werft. He could, he doesn't have the cooldown on the here, since he can't lay down the smoke screen. He might actually lose the T-35 there. But there you go, other T-35 drawing the fire there, away from the first one. Just nick of time. Another unit lost there for Coconut Milk. He needs to replace his infantry losses right now. He's down to just 2 infantry scores, which I definitely say is not good. Field gunner, he's going to try and take out the Schwer punted quarters, which would be really bad for Ihitto if he lost that. But there you go. Tanks infantry can push back. Coconut Milk connected will soon go for a 3rd T-35, though he really should go for some more infantry. That really feels like a genuine possible concern with his force composition. Ihitto can go for the Panther now. He could also try and stay out for the King Tiger, but I feel that would be a bit too risky right now. He's got no essential tanks there, so this could really just allow Coconut Milk to more easily press forwards, whereas the Panther could at least, keep the T-35s occupied for a while, and maybe even take out 1 or 2 during the run, while he then pushes for the King Tiger. But he does need to push out for some armor soon. Coconut Milk going for Katyusha. Considering the dug-in nature of Ihitto, it makes sense. It makes sense. Though he really should consider more infantry. That is a definite flaw there. And he should also just pop self-repair on both of them. Speed it up. Don't just allow 2 T-35s to hang out on commission for so long. I do think that's something some higher players we see struggle with at times. Just the idea that just the faster you get your tanks into combat, the better. I mean, hell, during the fighting in Normandy, like the 2nd SS Panzer Corps would hand out medals to the mechanics because of the skill in bringing back tanks into combat so fast during the fighting. And that was actual people doing that. So I mean, again, I would certainly advise you, if possible, to just focus on getting your tanks fast as battle as possible, because again, that's really good. Anyways, cancel the Katyusha, going for a 3rd T-35 anyways, and Ihitto they're going for the Panther. Almost got it ready. Panzerkampfwagen 5. Lots of mines, by the way, there. And there you go, again going for the Schwer punted quarters. Panther ramming here for Ihitto. Pindle map machine on the way. Big 2 pawns wide, so he's really beginning to bleed out. He's down to 56, though he's still got a lead there with Coconut Milk, who smacked him out to steal a cannon effort, which is kind of bad news for Ihitto. But there you go, Panther engages, lands a good hit there with its high velocity 75mm gun. And there you go, Mark vehicle expending his munitions. Has been holding so greedily for quite some time here. I imagine the part is just psychological. He wants to force Ihitto to be more careful with his Panther. Wants to be less aggressive. Ihitto in this case, though, doesn't give a damn. Possibly seeing through here, at least just feeling he can get away with it. But there you go, T-35 Panther engages. For Kedner's Panzerfaust always going off there. Coconut Milk suddenly finding himself losing a T-35 here to the Panther. There you go, Panther hit it from one of them. Oh, the excellent switches targets. He might be able to. Then again, he might be worried, that one. It's not going to work. And there you go, gets a T-35 on, going for the Panther here. Could risk losing both T-35s. He needs to be careful. He needs to be very careful. Kedner for the wipe. Bit of a loss there for Ihitto, in particular if Coconut Milk steals it. That could be a rather large problem there for Ihitto, as that means he's going to have a lot of anti-tank, which could very quickly put the brakes on any of Ihitto's armoured plans. Panther moving in there, trying to take out at least another T-35 here. Shot and fired and missed. Engineers white, the flamethrower tank bursting into flames, and T-35 number 2 going here again for the Panther. Panther there closing in match into 1. T-35 8 kills there, Benson's 1. Shot bounced. There you go, penetrating hit on the T-35, almost leveling their head. Field gun for Kedner moving ahead. No merge there, he's ignoring the orbital gun, getting a ton of damage in there. But they're themselves about to get wiped out. Oh dear. And they got wiped. I think that was a bit too costly there for Ihitto. Bit too costly. They did stop the field guns, giving his Panther more time to get out of there. I imagine he's going to consider some repair pioneers in the mechanized regiment soon. Well, that was a pretty tense engagement here with a lot of tanks fighting out there, and the Panther just, I think, being used reasonably well there by Ihitto. That was a bit risky. And there you go, Coconut Milk replacing all the engineers. Ihitto not replacing the orbital garden. Well, oh, there you go, orbital replacement on its way. But Kedner's not. One of them is still up for the name of Coconut Milk. The other one's awaiting recruitment, and along with the field gun. It's interesting to note that again, he's not using vehicle crew repairs, despite being pretty cheap, and again, he's got plenty of munitions. But there you go. Panther was in here, though he might regret that here thanks to the Academy effort. There you go, Veterans 1 game, Blitzkrieg, available. Heavy mortar, they're firing away, 4 killed so far. Orbison almost done, Panther being repaired. Noting he's actually managed to get Veteran to finish Steel Pioneers, pretty good work there by Ihitto. And the Hammond Girling Falchion Panzer shown there. Go. More entertainment being crewed here by Coconut Milk. Though he's still only operating with 2 infantry squads. That is, I would say, a point of concern. Maximum grain points up northwards. Veteran 3, maximum crew. And the other one's sort of going the southern approach here. Continuing to bleed out Ihitto here. Another T-35 here for Coconut Milk. You might want to consider tank from other paths rather than just straight on in. Again, it's sort of, you know, kill alley in a sense, and again, it also makes it easier for Ihitto to prepare for it. I mean, the sudden attack from the north with all the T-35s could possibly catch Ihitto's Panther off guard there, making the really exposed, which is where, imagine, Coconut Milk would rather be preferring to defecting most of his shots. I'll wait, Panther's good to go once more here for Ihitto. Back here, T-35 being repaired as the other one gets ready. Still not using self-repairs though. He's got 500 munitions. He should at least be laying down a lot more mines than he's doing. Though again, having lost both of the engineers, I would say his engineers caught there. That might of course take some time. But there you go, striking northwards, Panther with Orbison there. Getting the maximum, trying to aim for a wipe here. Almost, but not quite. Not quite. Still, Coconut Milk remains control most of the map here. Ihitto is though violently contesting it in the name of Deutschland. And I'm assuming he's going to be setting up for King Tiger now. I mean, he could also just go for a second Panther, which could prove useful if you can sort of keep them alive. But again, knowing Ihitto, I think he does have a tendency to swing towards the King Tiger and get away with it. He's, I think, definitely one of those chaps. There you go, Panther engaging. He did not repair the T-35. He didn't even use self-repair. That's definitely a thing an oversight there, but Coconut Milk might be stressed or something else, but definitely something cautious off. And there you go, almost got it there. Panther's also getting free experience of it. And there you go, Mark Vehicle again. Continuing with the remaining T-35s here. Still another anti-tank weapon for Ihitto. That really leaves everything on the Panther. Of course, also means Coconut easy to send up an ambush. And there you go, shots fired. One Pentagon hit there. Slowly approaching Veteran 2. Panther falling back here. T-35's going for it. Down to less than half health here. Coconut Milk though does not dive in for the Panther. He might be worried about other things hiding here. I would say that might have been a missed opportunity, then again maybe not. He does Blitzkrieg as well just to increase his chances of survival. Again, I hear to hear prudent play. No, sneaks in with the Panther again. Gonna try and take advantage of it. Oh no, he lost the Steel Pioneers. Veteran 3 Steel Pioneers squad bit the dust. He's actually suffered quite some nasty losses there. Still repair Pioneers. He's going to go for them, I think, for now. Time for going to be pushed accidentally, I think, by Ihitto. Too much going on here. Ihitto's overwhelmed. Panther pulling back again. T-35's rolling away as well there. So Ihitto suffered heavy losses, whereas Coconut Milk has yet to lose a single tank now in this engagement. This is pretty bad. I mean, overall he has lost tanks, but this engagement, none. Compared to the losses Ihitto suffered, he's almost losing another full squad squad. Whew. Nasty stuff, brutal stuff. Orbison though moving in here, trying to take advantage of him pushing sort of slightly more southwards of this route. So attack northwards here. He might be able to see at least back one like Kednev, which is good. Repair Pioneers are on the way, and the Panthers pulling back. They're close to Veteran 2, which would certainly help out. Ihitto and get it there. Kednev then being flanked by the T-35. Other moving in here. Oh, almost losing another Orbison squad here. Then we can see he's aiming for the Kednev to ensure that's not functioning. He did lose the Orbison as well. Ah, no. Those are some critically horrific losses there for Ihitto. Like, that was a lot of them. Particularly again, the Orbison will be hard for him to replenish again. But we do have now Veteran 2 on the Panther increasing health. Almost got a T-35 penetrating hit. He's pushing it. No, he's really pushing it. Killing some of the maximum crews. And looks like he realizes he actually has to fall back. He can't afford it. If he loses the Panther, that's GG. Game over. No more. But he does get the maximum there. 9 kills in the Panther. Oberleutnant Wilhelm falls back. Maxim there. We're clearly ordered by the minimap, which is why it's landed so far off the victory point there, I think. Pulling back the Panther, he's going to have to replenish infantry. He's still closing in on the King Tiger now. He is closing in on the King Tiger. They're still going to take some time. Still no self-repairs though from Coconut Milk. Again, I feel this is a big oversight by Coconut Milk. Oh, that's still the engineers repairing. It really should just pop the button. I mean, he's got tons of munitions. I'm not entirely sure why he isn't going for it. Oh wait, Panther there being fixed up. Pioneers had to work there. Good work though with Ihitto actually getting it there in the first place. Good work. It's mostly north here from Coconut Milk, screening off the victory point there. Allowing them to move towards it unmolested. Good work there by Coconut Milk, and we got a 40th on the way there for him. I still think he needs to use the self-repairs though, I mean. Anyways, enough about that. Panther there slowly getting ready, fixed up once more. Bit of quiet here as both players are mobilising for the next big series of engagements. Ihitto in particular I think has suffered gravely. I mean, he's got one tank and he's not got so much infantry. Though he's still got more than Coconut Milk, so he's not in a entirely bad spot. But again, 40-55 nonetheless will be quite a challenge for Ihitto. Even if he does get a King Tiger out, 4 T-55s will be quite a challenge for it to deal with. Panther almost good to go, and there you go, 4 T-55 out here. Oh, there you go, he actually is popping self-repairs now. He is actually popping. He's realising he can't really afford not to. So glad to see that realisation has finally dawned here, I think, on Coconut Milk. Just took him almost 40 minutes. Troops being held up here in this north centre wards. Not a lot of progress being made here for Coconut Milk. He really should consider other paths, but the Panther is once more ready to fight for Deutschland. Oberleutnant Wilhelms heads out. And go T-55 thought about the Panther, shoots, penetrating hit there on the T-35. And we could see another hit, there we go, another hit there on the T-35. We'll probably use the sweep way in the maximum crew up north there. Using the mighty machine guns of the Panther. And the main gun of it. Don't underestimate the power of the Panther's machine guns, by the way. They can be quite devastating to infantry. He's very close to the King Tiger, by the way. He's actually getting there. We got the T-55 swarming in, supported by a field gun. Panther disengages, falls back. Blitzkrieg here for more distance, of course. It also increases its rate of fire, I believe. And there you go, hits a mine with the T-55 there, right in front of the Panther. Shot bounced, shot bounced. King Tiger out here, more T-55 settling in for the Panther. Shots bouncing off the 80mm of sloped armour. Panther continues to fire away there. Shot fire, missed. Fulton's bringing up the Panther Fausts. Hits, there we go, another T-55 with a damaged engine. A large pile of Coconut Milk's tank full there is heavily damaged. Panther's closing mates on virtually feet. Penetrating hit there. Kevin bringing up support here. Need to fall back with all the tanks. Needs to get a smoke screen down. Other T-55 moving but heavily damaged. King Tiger setting out there for Ihitto. About to get one T-55. Panther's only taking penetrating hits there. Field gun moving up, so we'll need to fall back with the Panther. Mark V goes well, there you go, gets one T-55. Other one moving up, flanking the Panther. He waited for it, he waited for it. He might just be able to get, there we go. Panther is down. He's down with the King Tiger now. He's got one of the T-55, so there's still 3 left. He's going to at least get one more. Like field gun cleared out here. Fraked opening up the King Tiger. King Tiger takes out the T-55. Another cataclysmic clashing between Ihitto and Coconut Milk with heavy armoured losses on both sides. I mean, losing one Panther is pretty big for the Germans. T-55s are rolling away, heavily dinged up. King Tiger maneuvering about here with its high velocity 88mm gun. Hartmann Jäger strikes out for Deutschland. Looking for targets with which to annihilate. There you go, lands a good hit there. Damage engine on the Panther. King Tiger, I mean. And we'll of course have to see what Ihitto goes for next. So far, it's not really been using much of his doctrine compared to the Coconut Milk, which has got heavy mortars and T-35s and self-repair. And this, the only thing he hasn't gone for is, surprising enough, the Guards Riflemen, considering how popular they are. Otherwise, this is actually a surprising move there for Coconut Milk. King Tiger rolling back, heavily damaged there with engine damage. Well, most of the engine damage, really. But falling back there for the Fatherland. T-54 going in for it. That's a bit ambitious. King Tiger shoots and misses. Sturm Puny on the way to the Ihitto. Trying to get that squad, but again, he's ranging about in front of the King Tiger, which misses again. Unfortunately, there for Ihitto. Penetrating hit from the T-55. Heavy mortar fire, or lightning gun fire on the heavy mortar, which might force at the back there soon enough. He's caught there by the centre victory point. Both T-54 being repaired up. This now he's suddenly, again remembered and realises he's now actually reducing some repairs on his T-55s, which is good. Which is very good. There you go, King Tiger on the range for all the repairs. Unit there making off with the field gun as well. On the other hand, Coconut Milk's making off with another Kettenwerfer. But now it's Ihitto's turn to have be low on victory points here compared to Coconut Milk, down to 172 versus Coconut Milk's 243. So I think there's a bit of a larger gap going on there. I imagine Coconut Milk might consider an SU-5 now to help deal with the King Tiger. Or it could just go for more T-35s. Maybe support them with a few guardsmen there to button up the King Tiger, making it a bit easier to outmaneuver. There you go, Tiger 2 setting out, or Tiger B. Ooh, thought it took a hit there. King Tiger lands a good hit there, halfway to Veteran 2-1. Again, following some kind of coverage, but that's going to get busted there by the Sturm Pioneers as they actually flank in. We got the Max Pioneer covering fire there. And there you go, Mark Vehicle on the King Tiger. T-54 swinging in like Kedman from nearby as well. Yeah, he's going to get Panzerfaust, then there's a small chance of actually wiping out the T-55 driver. Yeah, that's going to happen. One more shot and it's going to go up in flames. The Kedman shoots. But it's too late for the T-55 crew there as the tank shatters. The ammunition cooking off in one explosive kill. He's pulling up here, folks, so need to be careful. T-55 there, or King Tiger close to Veteran 2-1. And now Coconut Milk, having gone from 4 T-35s, is down to just 1 T-34-85. Possibly a case of confidence, but also just I hear that they're handling his tanks quite well. And going for the Max in there, pushing it back with the might of the Königstiger. But he's lost another Sturm Pioneer squad, has to replace that one again. Down to 166, so the victory points keep taking down here. The 4 Ihitto for the Hammond Göring Fallschirm Panzer Division. H25, they're slowly approaching there for Coconut Milk. Fun fact about the King Tiger, it's actually more mechanically reliable than the Panther. Like, while the King Tiger sort of got the rumour of being really mechanically unreliable, there's actually the Panther that was the most mechanically unreliable. In fact, in the Panther battalion, it was not uncommon at least half of the Panthers at any time to be, up for repairs. Even the later models, whereas for the King Tigers, probably close like a quarter of the tanks that sort of struggled with the same issues. They should have father saying, oh, he's popped his focus sight too fast there. Might have been a reflex there by Coconut Milk, but it's just going to be really just slowly moving about there. He might have been too fast there. I don't think he's realised it, or he doesn't care. It's also fun beginning to use his munitions. He's laying down some very hefty minefields there to cover at least the southern victory point. Very good. North there, T-55 successfully pushes back a full scale squad there. Halfway to Veteran 3. And Ihitto's King Tiger is ready to want to settle. There you go, 7 kills. Veteran 2-1. Gaining access to Blitzkrieg itself. He needs to be careful though, focus sights. It allows the King Tiger to more easily close in on the issue farm, to be honest. So if Coconut Milk makes a mistake there, that could very easily be killed there for the King Tiger. Large 35 range southwards there. There we go. Catch the H5 with the King Tiger. Still focused. There you go. Blitzkrieg. See Blitzkriegs. There you go. Shot fired. Almost got it. One more hit. One more hit. And there we go. Ihitto taken down with the King Tiger. That Coconut Milk's focus start backfired on him. And now the King Tiger advances. He's marked vehicle, but it's already halfway to 52, and there's not really much in line immediately that can threaten it. Except maybe a T-55 flanking it, and even then there's a field gun covering the flank of the King Tiger. Ihitto could actually soon go for another Panther if he wanted to. There we go, just falls back. He is not going to fight a King Tiger with only a single tank. Coconut Milk is clearly not that crazy. T-55 rolling back, very close to 33. 33 killed by really good work with the T-55 there by Coconut Milk. And there you go, King Tiger landing a good hit on the Kedman for take off another in a few seconds. Ooh, almost got it, but not quite, not quite. Fulton's pushing back the conscripts in the south. Again, lots of mines here, lots of mines. One goes off there, Friedrich Ludwig dead. And then Jürgen and Otto join in. Almost taking out the entire Volkskrieger squad. And then he's going to trip. Ah! Sets off 2 mines there, but still, that's a full unit there, wiped by mines. Quite expensive there for Ihitto, obviously. He is going for the Panther now, though. He is going for a Panther. It's going to be a Panther and a King Tiger versus a single T-55 over there. And I imagine Coconut Milk's going to go for more troops. And there you go. He's going for Gaspman finally. I really feel like that one's been heavily delayed by Coconut Milk for reasons I actually can't ascertain. Still, he's maintained control of the victory points. He's laying down still more and more mines. Again, he's suddenly realizing he has to spend those munitions. Like, he doesn't get a reward after the game for saying up munitions. There's no medals awarded for, like, congratulations, comrades. You saved up 1,000 munitions. Your trip to the Gulag has been delayed by 7 days. Like, nothing like that. Still, King Tiger Panther, that's going to be quite the pickle for Coconut Milk to deal with. Like his peak that has sort of vanished a bit in terms of the 4 T-55s there. And, I mean, really just taking into an aerospace like that was not a tactically amazing job there, I think, for Coconut Milk, not really relying on the strength of his tanks. Oh, King Tiger's going to hit a mine, though, if he's not careful. Pushing the center, they're supported by a smoke screen, very good work. But there you go, Panther out for Ihitto, Deutschland. Coconut Milk aiming for another T-35. Down on 28 there for Ihitto. It's a mine, it's a mine. Shoots, gets poor Pushkin there. Almost got the center one there, and Vasily there went airborne briefly. Charging into the assault rifle is not the best move there by Coconut Milk. His conscripts certainly don't appreciate the gesture. And he's leaving the gap to guard the south. He's going to lose another conscript up here. That's going to be quite a loss there for Coconut Milk. Oh, no. Gets away with a still of health. Smoking down again. Gaspman just hanging down here. That feels a bit like a waste, to be honest, by Coconut Milk. Feels a bit like a waste. More full-scale deal for Ihitto for the Hammer Göring Fallschirm Panzer Division. And another heavy mortar here. So now both sides going to have quite a battery there to sort of hammer away at the other one. Sandbeck's here to help defend the centre victory point. He's basically tightening up his lines. If he can hold the centre victory point, he'll do it, because again, it means he has less to worry about. And of course, it might force Ihitto to try and flank in. But if he's sort of got too much tunnel vision, he could just keep trying to tank head on in here. That's going to require a lot of anti-tank to really stop a Panther and a King Tiger, in particular the King Tiger here, and he doesn't have a lot of them. He's got like Kedman, but the problem is they're going to be within range of the King Tiger. And once the King Tiger hits 52, he's going to have a good chance of wiping them anyways. Almost got a conscript there. Ah! Close but no cigar. Again, they're not able to shoot here, not well split up for it. T-55 on the south there being engaged with the Panther, and there you go, eventually 3 ace stages. Again, if a shoot penetrates the Panther, Panther needs to fall back. Oh dear, about to lose Oberleutnant Fritz. Webermann, and there you go, Panther finding, or King Tiger finding onwards here. Penetrating hit, gained eventually 2 on the King Tiger, marked vehicle. No, it's on the Panther actually. Still here to retract, he's not going to risk the King Tiger in an insensible position. Finding out the Kedman is there, taking shots, gets a kill there. A North with the T-55 catching the Steel Pioneers off guard in a negative cover as well. Immediately wiping out numerous men there. T-55 hiding around the centre. 42 kills, by the way. He's really 43. Been doing amazing work with that T-55. A real hero of the Soviet Union. Real hero there. OKW takes a direct hit from the King Tiger. Crew is wiped. Another hit. The King Tiger is actually slowly, very slowly approaching veteran fleet. And we can see the Coconut Milk launching assault here. Minesweepers not found. And he just rushes straight into the mines with unsurprisingly predictable results. Ooh, another unit there taking up with the King Tiger there. 28 kills for the fatherland. Hauptmann Jäger proves ever resourceful in killing Russians. How is shooting some high explosive shells being resourceful? I'm just making up my own propaganda, Ludwig. You know, I gotta sound cool, otherwise I won't get that night's course. "44 kills from the T-55 there. Guardsmen flanking in. Up north, King Tiger going for the engineers. 29 kills. Almost got a full wipe there. Almost got a full wipe. Sturmpioniere on the way for Ihitto. Again. He's lost quite a few Sturmpioneer squads. Down at 82 victory points. We got Searing Artillery called down here. Searing Artillery. You don't get to see that one very often, Pat, because it costs 300 munitions. But he's going for it nonetheless. He's rushing in the King Tiger. Panther almost good to go. Shell lance off because of the Guardsmen. Smoking going down here with the heavy mortars. Again, good consistent use of it. Guardsmen almost taken out here. He's still flooding manpower. Really, he's probably setting up for another T5. There you go. Almost wiped the squad. Large T5 ring down around the remaining Guardsmen. But he remains there. Nerves of steel and everything. But the heavy mortar chrome then is getting absolutely plastered. No, the last Guardsman got hit by the remaining shell. And the heavy mortar lost. Knocked out as well there. Coconut Milk's nerves of steel in this case turned out to be detrimental to the survivability of his men. He just lost 2 units to the same artillery barrage there, same artillery. That's actually a bit of a rare sight. Panther goes for the T-55 King Tiger waiting repairs. In the meanwhile, Mark V on the Panther. Coconut Milk can go for another T-55. There goes the center victory point. Down to 71 points for Ihitto versus Coconut Milk's 202. Lots of heavy mortar fire. They continue to rain down there from the remaining mortar. Also, he's more veteran mortar, veteran in fact. 200 points left here. His ace, on the other hand, is repaired there with engineers. Not going for a third one, not going for initiative 5. One more infantry. Bit risky there for Coconut Milk. Bit risky. Keep on moving in there. 46 kills. He could get there. We go. He gets the kidnap again. Shed destroyed by the T-55 accidentally. And there you go. Direct hit from the 63 on the T-55 there with 47 kills. Grab the northern victory point. Still no additional Simon Ellis tank. What is Coconut Milk thinking? Is he panicking? Is he just stressed out? Who knows? King Tiger there with 29 kills to good to go almost. 68, 67. Panther Wing got a Ken Method ready. Smoke screen down again. Another T-55 finding for Coconut Milk. $63. Oh dear. Panther King, somebody there you go. We got the T-55 engaging the Panther head on. McKenna turning around there. Need to go for the ace though. King Tiger moving in as well there. He could blitz. He could blitz. Almost got the T-55 ace there. King Tiger rolls ahead. 29 kills. Supported by the veterans who won. Panther with 9 kills. Graham the centre victory point. Down to 47. Heavy mortar being pushed back here by the King Tiger and the Panther. Almost got the mortar crew. One more hit. One more hit. And... oh! King Tiger snipes the bastard at max range. T-55 trying to flank in, but getting stopped here by the Panther and the Schwer punted quarters. Coconut Milk pulls back his T-55. Down to 40 victory points for Ihitto here. He's only gotten the one by a 10 years grasp there. You should probably mine around here and just send forces down there. I mean, right now, it might even pay off better for Coconut Milk just digging around the 2 victory points. But again, that means Ihitto could essentially just go and defeat his forces in detail. So Coconut Milk might just consider something else, just trying to keep Ihitto on the defensive, keeping away from victory points. It's about to lose though. It's T-35 here if he's not careful. Panther take direct hit to the rear, almost ready to 2. T-35 desperately tries to escape, but the Panther shoots and gets the T-35. Almost ready 2 there on it. Down to just 2 T-35s again now. King Tiger engaging the Kedmov head on. 32 kills. Ace, I think, is being self-repaired here. There we go. Going for the T-35. He could blitzkrieg to increase the chance of catching up with it. But there you go. Round find the foot goes with the Panther Faust. Damaged engine. More gas went out here for Coconut Milk. 25 points left for Ihitto. 25, 24. Panther moving northwards here. Conscript defending the point. Damage engine the Panther. Ihitto's not got a lot of inches to rush forwards with. T5 there being flanked by the King Tiger. Half H victory 3. Rushing the victory point here with infantry. Excellent center. Actually slightly undefended. There you go. Another T-35 blows up in bits and pieces. Leaving him only with the ace left now. 48 kills by the way on that one. 48 kills. Engineer's about to get utterly exsanguinated. Rushing for the center victory point. The Kevin from Mini probably should just camera it to just help there. 15 victory points left by Ihitto though. 15 left. 14. Scotsman to try and defend there. T-55. Oh, he's going to lose the ace. He's going to lose the ace. It's finally going to happen. King Tiger moving in there. And turns the turret. 13 points left for Kedmov for white. 12 victory points left. Coconut Milk's forces die out. T-55 is trying to sneak past the King Tiger. Just pretend we are fascist, comrades. But there is no running from the King Tiger. He did lose to get the Panther, but there you go. Coconut Milk surrenders. He was so close but in the end, Ihitto. And surprisingly, the King Tiger prevailed, having been rather, I think, by a lot of players considered a bad move. In this case, it actually turned out to work out pretty well for Ihitto, defeating numerous T-35s there. 4 knocked out by the might of it. Well, 3 and then, of course, the H-35. A brutal battle here with heavy losses on both sides. Numerous tanks knocked out. 7 T-35s that lost. 4 him with 2 Panthers knocked out on the other end for Ihitto. So heavy losses there. Heavy losses with about close to 600 total there in this battle on Holotny Farmer. It's a really good play there from both players. Ihitto's start there was initially good, then he sort of, I think, floated too much. At the same time, Coconut Milk did. Coconut Milk there was able to push out tanks faster though. Again, I think that was his big race. He was just too slow taking up. Coconut Milk rushed him with tanks. He pushed back with the Panther. Coconut Milk, I think, ended up trying to just make some engagements work. He couldn't with the tanks, rather than trying to play to the strengths, and that rather allowed sort of Ihitto to slowly but surely turn around. Again, it was really close, even then, really close. So, really close fight here, really good fight. So, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send them some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers, thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.